Donald Trump has repeatedly told us that his tariffs on every single good coming into this country are going to raise $2 billion per day. That's what he said at the beginning of the administration. Then, of course, on April 8th, he said they are pulling in $2 billion a day. Unequivocally, we, the United States, are making $2 billion a day off these tariffs. So pretty remarkable, right? That his exact prediction turned out to be the exact real number. Except, according to his own government, U.S. Customs and Border Protection says, that's not even close to reality. In fact, we're making maybe a tenth of that, pulling in about $200 million a day for these tariffs. So he was off by, 90%, but that hasn't stopped him from pushing the lie that we are making $2 billion a day off of these ill-advised on-again, off-again tariffs. But it's a complete and total fantasy. Nothing that this man has said about these tariffs has been true. We're going to make $2 billion a day. Nope, we're making about a tenth of that. And technically, because those costs get passed on to consumers, you're costing us $200 million a day. Oh, it's going to bring everybody to the negotiating table. No. China, in fact, has become so irate with the United States, they're not even trying to negotiate. They've now worked out deals with other countries to buy goods that they used to buy from the United States. An example of that this week was beef. China imported a lot of U.S. beef. Well, now that it's so expensive to do it, they've said, screw it. We're just going to start buying Australian beef, which, if you've ever had it, is actually much, much better. No offense to American beef, but man, Australia really does it right there. Now, I'll get more into this in just a moment, give you the real numbers on what our tariffs are costing you. But first, a quick word from today's video sponsor. First, Elon Musk gutted federal agencies. Then he slashed public services. Now, his people are fighting to keep their corruption under wraps. But a federal judge ruled Musk's alleged Department of Government efficiency is not exempt from open records laws. Judge Christopher Cooper made it clear that the Trump administration completely failed to argue against the fact that DOJ is acting with massive unchecked power. Ground News analyzed dozens of sources covering this from across the political spectrum. And comparing coverage, you'll see how some spin this as a partisan issue while others call it what it is, proof of corruption. Same story, different spin, and exactly why you can't blindly trust the first headline you see without knowing the biases behind them. That's why I've been relying on my partners at Ground News for a long, long time. If you like my show, you'll love how their app and website lets you compare coverage with context on each source's political bias, credibility, and financial incentives. This way, you're not just taking one source's word for what's happening, you're seeing past the layers of selective reporting shaping your worldview. Billionaires and political agendas are controlling more and more of our media, deciding what they want us to see and think. Ground News, on the other hand, it's independent, it's nonpartisan, and only committed to helping us think critically about the stories shaping everything from public opinion to public policy. And since I can't track everything Trump and Musk are doing or undoing alone, I've curated feeds that track them for me from credible sources to make sure I'm giving you all the most reliable information. And now you can too, for nearly half the price. Go to ground.news/Farron to get the same unlimited access Vantage plan that I use for just $5 a month. Take back control of how you stay informed today. The link is in the video description. So let's talk about the real numbers here. As I mentioned, Donald Trump says we're pulling in $2 billion a day. Meanwhile, his own government, U.S. Customs and Border Protections, the group that actually takes in the money, says we're making between 200 and 250 million per day. In fact, here is what they told CNBC in a statement. Since April 5th, Customs and Border Protection has collected over 500 million under the new reciprocal tariffs. contributing to more than $21 billion in total tariff revenue from 15 presidential trade actions implemented since January 20th, 2025. So let's get this straight. You say you're bringing in 200 to 250 million a day, but then this story that you published on the 17th says that in the last 12 days, you've brought in 500 million. But if you were actually bringing in 200 to 250 a day, that would only be like 2 to 3 days, 2.5 days. So your own numbers are also disgustingly overblown when you actually give the total. So no, we're not even bringing in $200 million per day. So even Customs and Border Protection is overinflating the numbers, trying to make Donald Trump look good. 3 months into this presidency, $21 billion in tariffs. Great. But Donald Trump has already increased spending by $155 billion in those 3 months. So that's still a net negative $134 billion. So we're still in the red. We're not doing well as an economy, not to mention the fact, as I said, that $21 billion we've brought in tariffs, that just represents costs that are then passed on to you, the consumer, because American companies paid that $21 billion, and you'd better believe they're going to do everything they can to get it back from you. Did you know that you might be missing out on wonderful content from me? I mean, you're here already because clearly you like what you see. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like the video, share them with your friends and family, but also follow me across the rest of the social media world. And it's not that hard to do. Whether it's X or Twitter, whatever you want to call it, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, on every one of those platforms, you can find me at the username @FarronBalanced. Simple enough, right? So get on it. And if you don't feel like going to each one of those outlets individually, lucky for you, we have links in the description of this video to take you right to my pages across all of social media. So don't miss a minute. And while you're at it, make sure you're also subscribed to the Ring of Fire YouTube channel, which I have been hosting for many, many years now. We've got more than 1 million subscribers over there, and there is fresh content over there every single day of the week. So again, if you're not subscribed, subscribe to this channel, and while you're at it, go subscribe to Ring of Fire at youtube.com/The Ring of Fire and @FarronBalanced across every social media platform that, of course, is not considered just a far-right hellscape. Well, maybe Twitter is, but that's a story for a different day.